Hello everybody, my name is Morty Schlossel, Professor Glassman. I present to you the Campbell Sports Center. The architect is Stephen Hall. This building, belonging to Columbia University, was built in 2013. It is located on the corner of Broadway and West 218th Street, which is the northern side of Manhattan. The building is 48,000 square feet and 5 stories high. It is made of steel planks with many windows and external staircases on the outside. The left side of the building is lifted off the ground by columns, allowing for space to walk under the building, giving it more exposure. The building also has a flat rooftop. Just a quick historical point, it is named after William V. Campbell, a former coach of the Columbia football team and later a mentor in the technology industry. This is appropriate, as the Sports Center serves for both the athletes' athletic and study purposes. The building itself consists of strength and conditioning rooms, coaches' offices, athlete study rooms, plus more. The purpose of the building is for the body, which is the strength and conditioning rooms, the mind, which is the study rooms, and the mind-body, which is a theater, for example, to study film and work on strategy. This building serves purpose for the university's outdoor teams, which are the football, baseball, softball, tennis, lacrosse, soccer, and field hockey teams. The intriguing shape and positions of windows on this and staircases of this building is to serve a purpose of a theme of giving it exposure. From different points and heights of the building, you can oversee the city of Manhattan, as well as the railroad right next to it, and the university's fields on the backside of the building. Something interesting about the building's location is it is located amongst brick buildings which serve as residential buildings, as this university building is made of steel, giving it a very diverse look. Along with the university's fields, the building itself is illuminated at night. The staircases are lit on the external side. Because of the many windows, there is many light giving exposure, and it gives it a very nice look. Now let's move on to talk about the floor plan. As we see in the left picture here, this is just a floor plan of the 4th floor. As you can see, the offices are placed all around the side of the building here, which are all by the windows, once again giving them much exposure. And these little rooms in the middle here of 10, 11, 12, and 13, those serve as locker rooms and storage rooms, which can easily be closed rooms. And this picture on the right here, the floor plan here, can show you see on the bottom left here, this is where the building is elevated by the columns. There's grading area here, number 5. That's the strength and conditioning workout gym, which on the back side of it has a big curtain wall overseeing the university's fields, offices again on top, and different rooms amongst all the windows, giving it much exposure to the city and the fields. If we look back here at the building as a whole, it looks like it was solids and voids, and then windows were placed in, creating an intriguing image of steel planks of different sizes and large windows placed in random places, along with multiple external staircases along the walls. Kind of looks like a Chutes and Ladders game, just only the ladders. Over here, now we focus on the external parts of the buildings. These are the 2 ground floor entrances. The one on the left here is the main one, Campbell Sports Center right above, and it is with a glass door and many glass windows, as well as the one on the right here. This is more of a back entrance. Again, big glass doors, big glass windows, once again giving it much exposure. The building has many entrances, and here are 2 more of them entering from the 2nd floor, leading up with open staircases, once again going through open glass doors and windows. There are also multiple terraces on multiple points of the building. If you see on the picture on the left here, there's one here on the 4th level, and another one on the 5th level, and one big one here on the roof. Or you can oversee many different parts of the city. Over here on the right here, this is the back side of the building. You have on the 3rd level here, on the roof here. So as you can see, many different lookout points to oversee different parts of the city and the university's fields. Another very nice point about this building is throughout the whole building, on each of their sides, there are windows that extend from the floor of that specific level all the way to the ceiling. You see all the way here on the left, long, tall windows on each floor, the one in the middle here, and the one on the right here as well, extending all the way from the floor to the ceiling, once again giving the theme of exposure. Just to get a closer look here at the columns that hold up the elevated part of the building, they stand both vertically and diagonally. This is what Le Corbusier like to call pilotis. Now let's move on to talk about the interior part of the building. As you can see, even just by looking at the staircases, it is very spacious. There are many interior staircases, made of steel I believe, which serve multiple purposes. They give exposure to Manhattan, as well as the sports fields, due to them being very spacious, and it provides easy access to every area of the building. For example, the athletes can easily transition from the workout gym all the way to the study rooms. You can see here, you get a nice overview of the whole workout gym just by walking up the staircase or standing on one of the floors. Everything big, tall windows. Each floor kind of has its own curtain wall. On each level as well, there are places to look out through the large windows to oversee the city and the fields. As you can see in these two pictures, some beautiful views, which, once again, the floor is curtain windows extending from the floor all the way to the ceiling. As you can see over here, the glass doors in the hallway, also glass, and these little lion logos. That is the Columbia University's logo, the Columbia Lions. I would say the logos of the lions might just be the only ornament on the whole building, and it's even only on the interior. But nevertheless, as you can see throughout the whole building, there's so much glass and windows providing many views of different parts of the city and the fields. Now before I show the picture, we're going to talk about the comparison to another building designed by Stephen Hall, which was the NYU Department of Philosophy, the New York University. Stephen Hall was selected to renovate the interior in 2004, and it was completed in 2007. He did not touch the exterior, just the interior. This Department of Philosophy is located at 5 Washington Place. This building is symmetrical. It has 2 entrances, one on each end of the front of the building. On top of each entrance is a railing with balusters. There's ornament and terracotta on the building, many windows. On the interior, though, there's a continuous exposed staircase that goes from the bottom to the top floor along the side of the building. Many windows are placed around the building to bring in much sunlight and exposure to the city. It seems as the idea here was to bring outside inside, as seen by the staircase exposure and the windows. A lot of emphasis on the stairwell. He wanted to bring much sunlight into the stairwell. As you look at the picture, both on the left and the right, it is a continuous stairwell. There are windows on the side providing sunlight. You can see this shade of sun along the wall here, even the rainbow coming through the windows. Just to quote Stephen Hall, when he designed this building, he said, "University buildings need to focus as incubators for interaction between students and faculty. It was a pleasure working with this university that was willing to broaden its design approach by including our staircase that now functions as the backbone of the building." So you can see how much emphasis and focus Stephen liked to put on stairwells, both in this building and in the Campo Sports Center. As you can take a brief look on the exterior of this building, as I said, it's very symmetrical, a little bit of balusters above the 2 entrances on the sides, many windows once again. Now, although he only designed the interior of the 1980 building, I believe that had influence on the Campo Sports Center he designed a few years later. They are both located on the corner of their respective streets, located in a busy New York. They both have a lot of emphasis on the staircases. They both are partially predicated on exposure and overseeing things. I think that since Stephen Hall was able to also design the exterior of the Campo building, as opposed to just the interior of the NYU building, he was able to do so much more with similar ideas. He is able to also bring inside to the outside, as seen by the many external staircases as well as the flat external walls, which compose of large windows, unlike the NYU building, where there are similar windows separated by spandrels and much ornament on the exterior. But I think the underlying common denominator between the two is the focus on exposure in accordance with the building's facility purposes and to the outside. They both have a luminous look. So although there isn't much ornament, spandrel, terracotta, or, of course, the famous festoon, I would still consider this building, the Campbell Sports Center of Columbia University, to be Art Nouveau. It is picturesque, has natural materials, and smooth surfaces, and you can possibly say solids and voids. It's a relatively simple building in some ways, yet very unique in others.